Welcome to the Cabrera Lab Podcast.
What's up?
Nada mucho.
Nada mucho. That means not a lot?
Not a lot.
Well, all right then. I think there's a lot.
A lot?
Yeah, a lot's up.
A lot's up.
We got a lot of stuff going on. We're doing stuff. We're moving and shaking. We're trying to get these...
Moving and shaking.
Working on our vision.
8 billion thinkers.
Yes.
Systems thinkers.
Yes, but here's what I want to talk about. Because a couple of people have noticed we've changed our vision. Just a little bit. So it's 8 billion systems thinkers.
Above the standard.
Above the standard. And people are saying, what does this mean? What is the standard?
Yeah, that's the first time we've changed it in...
a long time.
A long time.
So we've got some splaining to do.
That's what you want to talk about?
Yeah, people are curious. Like, what does it mean, and how do we even land at this idea of a standard, and what does it mean to have a standard to rise above?
I mean, you got to have standards.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, like my mother used to say.
Yeah, raise your
standards.
Yeah.
I mean, I think systems thinking is super critical for society. I think there's some reasons that I don't actually talk about very much because they're kind of a little bit hard to grasp. Mm-hmm. If the problems we have are, the way that the system is and the results that the system is getting, and if these systems are very large and very complex, those systems are not the leaders. Those systems are all of us.
I see.
So the way to fix those systems, it can't be fixed by leaders. Yeah. It has to be fixed by all of us. We have to think differently about the way we live in systems. We have to think about the systems we live in. Mm-hmm. And that's going to mean that a huge number of us have to be more systemic in our thinking. The only way to raise society to be better than it is to raise people to see more, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think what you're getting at is we are all part of this system. Yeah. And we are therefore all influential in the outcomes of this system, right?
And the results, the behavior of the system is entirely dependent on our little micro behaviors, all of us, all of the way that we behave on a daily basis. Like when we buy a soda instead of water, or we buy a soda rather than just drinking some water, not necessarily buying water.
Yeah.
But, like all those micro behaviors, all of them there are collective dynamics to those micro behaviors because there's 8 billion of us.
Yeah.
And when 8 billion things do something, it has huge effects, huge emergent properties.
Right.
So if 8 billion people kind of did something a little different because they were thinking more systemically, even just a little different, you would get huge emergent properties.
Huge results.
And there's no way that you can sort of put all of that on, well, if a couple hundred leaders, business leaders, political leaders, whatever, were different, then it would happen. No, it wouldn't happen.
No, and I think part of what we're getting at is we literally are agents in this system, which means we have agency in the system. Yes. And in some ways, allocating the thinking to a smaller group of people, assuming they've got...
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing is a better word. Yes, outsourcing the thinking part.
Yes.
For all of us.
Yeah.
Is not a smart way to do it.
No.
And not only that, given the size and the complexity of the system, we're not going to get the outcomes we want if we do that.
Not at all.
There's no way.
We'll actually get really terrible outcomes because all those folks that we allocate the thinking to, that we outsource the thinking to, first of all, probably won't think systemically. And second of all, probably will think selfishly.
Based on human nature.
Yeah. And so, what we got to do is sort of be like, are we happy with the way schools are going? Are we happy with the way healthcare is going? Are we happy with the way government and elections and all these different things are going?
Which is how we interact with one another.
With the way we interact with each other.
That's a big thing.
Right.
In my mind.
Are we happy with all those things? And can we think differently about those things? Can we think more systemically? Right?
Yeah.
So that leads us to our vision, which has been our vision for a long time, 8 billion. It started, believe it or not, at 7 billion.
We've been working on this a while.
We've been working on it for a while, but 8 billion systems thinkers. And, we've been doing this for 30-something years. And probably about 15 years ago, we began being able to measure what we mean by systems thinking.
Yes.
Like, what is it actually?
Yes.
Took us a long time to be able to measure what exactly does it mean to be systems thinking.
Right.
Then we wanted to figure out, well, what exactly do you have to do to get better at systems thinking?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And in particular, one of the things that we really focused on was that what we call can-do competencies.
Yes.
Or can-dos.
Yep.
And the reason that's so important is because so much of the field of systems thinking, when I came to it, was not really about what you can do. It was really about, like, let's talk about this, like, wild, conceptual thing, and then let's talk about it. It was like philosophical.
Yeah.
It's very philosophical.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I think what people want is, like, can you tell me how to do this? Like, when I first started learning about sauna, I was like, I know it sounds crazy because sauna seems like pretty easy now, but I was like, can somebody just tell me exactly what to do? For how long? How many minutes? How hot? Do I use this kind of sauna or that kind of sauna? Do I use water or wet or dry? Blah, blah, blah. Can I exercise while I'm in there or not? All these little protocol-y kinds of things.
Yeah.
And when I learned that, it was very helpful because then I can do it.
Well, and you knew how to get started.
Yep.
You know exactly what the protocol was, how long, what temperature.
How do I do it?
Yeah.
Right? Now, there's also all the stuff about why you should do it and what the benefits, and that's all interesting too. But once I was convinced by the benefits, I was sort of like, okay, what's the exact thing that I gotta do? Yeah. Same with yoga. Like, once I got convinced of the benefits, it was kind of like, okay, how do I do it? For how long? Which moves? Which poses? How do I do that pose? Right. How do I do How do I choose which pose? And then eventually you get good at it and you become more comfortable. We just didn't know that. We didn't know, what do you do? What do you practice to be good at it?
Right.
And what we've learned, research-wise, is the practice is everything. We didn't know that 30 years ago.
We've been working a long time to help people develop awareness of what metacognition is, what it means to be a systems thinker.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I think that was sort of our first goal. And now we're extending that to be, okay, what are the things you have to do on the ground to learn these skills, to apply them to your life? And emphasize the importance of practicing, developing those skills, just like anything. You've talked a lot about basketball. Right?
Yep.
Practicing dribbling the ball. What do you call those? Free
shots.
Free shots? Free throws.
Free throws.
Free throws. That kind of stuff. And I think that analogy holds really well for this.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had the benefit of discovering some of these things. And so I remember when we didn't know them, and it was really a different world when we didn't know them. Like, for a long time we did. We thought it was awareness. Just bring a person's awareness about this thing, about part whole, or about identity other, or about action reaction, or about point and view, right?
Yeah.
DSRNP or love reality loop or whatever. And we just thought, if you bring awareness, that's all you need. And the scientific term for that is metacognition, of being aware of your thinking. So neurons on putting some neurons allocated to other neurons.
Yeah.
And we thought, that's it. That's all we got to do.
Yeah.
We now know how to measure it. We know exactly what it is. Just make people aware of it. That wasn't enough.
No. It was a good start.
It was a good start. But, I mean, we're talking, over a decade of of that.
Yes.
And learning where it worked, where it didn't, how much it worked, how much it didn't.
Yes.
And then studies where we showed practice.
The benefits
of practice. So this is different than metacognition is allocating some of your neurons to look at other of your neurons. That's called awareness.
Yeah.
Practice is burning neural pathways that aren't burnt. Making a trail in your brain.
Yeah.
Building a trail in your brain through the forest.
Yes.
That's practice. When we studied practice, that's when it really became, wow, the results were incredible. So the awareness results were pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But not incredible enough. Not enough.
Yeah.
But the practice results are amazing.
So we've had a long line of research to get to where we are. We started with what you were just saying. And then what we did then is we said to ourselves, okay, if we have a way for people to actually learn these things very quickly, what is the net effect of that, right? And we saw those increases in problem solving.
Based on awareness.
Based on awareness.
Metacognition.
Of awareness.
Yeah. Yep.
We then had another study, 35,000 people, where we were able to identify statistical trends in strengths and weaknesses on these building blocks of thinking.
Yeah.
Which meant not only did we know the strengths, but the weaknesses gave us insight into exactly what people need to do and learn to be better, which led to the moves.
Yes.
Which are the things that we practice to develop mental fitness.
And then we did research on the practice of those moves, and we kind of blew it out.
Yeah.
But what's critically important there is this distinction between metacognition or awareness and practice.
Yeah.
Neurons looking at neurons versus burning neuronal pathways.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's not a versus like either or. It's and both. You need both.
Yes.
Right? So what we saw was if we poke somebody in the arm and remind them of a concept, we get remarkable results. But 10 minutes later, a day later, 3 days later, nothing really changed about that person's default way of thinking.
Right. They're back to their old.
They're back to the old default.
Yeah.
Because all we did was poke them in the arm and say, "Hey, remember this," and then do something, and wow, big results, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is we didn't change their default. So awareness makes you aware in the moment, but it doesn't change your default pattern.
Yeah.
It's the first step in changing your default pattern, but it's not necessitated that the default changes.
Right.
So practice becomes the changing of the default.
Yes.
So it's awareness plus practice, metacognition plus practice.
Yeah.
That we see the big gains and permanent gains. Because
Yes.
you're changing, when you burn the neural pathways, you're creating hiking trails in your mind.
Yeah.
That are there forever. I mean, I used to build trail. All of the trails that I've built are still there.
Yeah.
Right? Once you build the trail, it's there for a long time.
Yeah.
So once you build the trail, it's there for a long time, and you can utilize it very quickly rather than struggling through the underbrush, which nobody's ever going to do, right? You get a trail and you just right to it. And so your default changes and it increases your speed, which is what people are struggling with.
Yeah.
Right? They need to be not just right more often, but they need to do it at a fast pace because our society is pretty fast.
Yeah.
And that's what burning the neurons does. So this thing together, and this is kind of if we take metacognition, which is awareness, or, sometimes I'll say neurons looking at neurons.
Meta-neurons.
Yeah, you're just taking some of your neurons and looking at what the other neurons are doing, essentially. And then we take practice, big P, right? And this is burning neuronal pathways. If we take these two things together, this is what we called mental fitness.
Right.
And the reason we call it mental fitness is because just like physical fitness, there are things you can learn and do, become aware of, and then practice.
Yes.
That will fundamentally change, and this is kind of different, how smart you are.
Yeah.
And now I know that this notion of smart, it's the most bankrupt notion that we have in cognition, which is that like we have this idea that if you have a high IQ or lots of degrees or lots of letters after your name or some position or whatever, that makes you smart. It doesn't.
No.
What makes you smart is your ability to adapt to situations. So situational adaptivity is what smart is. And mental fitness is the thing that leads to smart. What we mean when we say somebody's smart is that you're able to put them in some situation, and they're able to adapt to that situation. And the more types of situations that they can adapt to, the more well-rounded and the more impressive that smart is.
Yes.
So mental fitness is going to lead to smart, and it requires these two things. And the whole point of it is to give you the ability to adapt to situations.
Yes.
And so we now know that the practice of mental fitness is what if you do, there's 6 things over here that are the most important 6 things. So we make you aware of the 6 things, and then you practice the 6 things.
Yes.
And we can measure over and over again what your baseline is and how well you're doing. And that together, a lot of this and a few other things that I'm not going to mention make up the standard. And what we need to do, and I don't mean me and you, I mean our whole society
all of us,
needs to do, is get 8 billion people above that standard.
Yes. And I think
or we're hosed.
Yeah. We're already on the path towards that.
Because what we don't want to happen is this idea that, these deficits in education become intergenerational. That is a super dangerous equation.
That's very hard to break.
It's super hard to break.
Very hard to break. I think what's interesting about this idea of a standard is, so you imagine like in our childhood when your mother or my mother said, raise your standards.
Yeah.
That communicates an effort on my part, but it also requires an explanation of what that means.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah, what's
my
the
mother
standard?
needs to explain, what is that standard?
Yeah.
How am I short of it?
Yep.
How do I exceed it? Without that, it's just a sentence.
Yeah, and it's a mystery. It's like how do you it's like if you don't have weights or a scale or anything in the gym that you can measure to the number of push-ups you can do or then there's no way to kind of be like, am I doing better than I was doing yesterday, or am I doing worse, or like, how do I know?
Right.
What this does is it when we say 8 billion systems thinkers above the standard, what that does, this is our vision. What that does is it says we want to get 8 billion people to go above the standard. We want them to, at a minimum, be aware of and practice the most important skills. And again, not concepts, skills.
Yeah.
Skills
things you
of
do.
doing, things that you can do everywhere, anywhere, with anyone.
Yeah.
That's what's powerful. These aren't concepts, these aren't philosophies, these aren't, whatever, opinions. These are skills. If you do these skills, you can use them and we use the term professional, you can use them in your personal life, you can use them in your professional life, and there is literally no place that won't be affected by these skills.
Right, and the fact that they are universally applicable means that they're very easy to practice. You don't have to be in a particular space, like in a gym with all the right weights. I can literally practice it when I'm making dinner. I can practice it when I'm feeding my dogs. I can practice it when I'm framing out a huge initiative at work. I'm having an important conversation with my boss. And I think, to me, I always joke about things I can take in my purse. I'll read books that I can take in my purse, because I don't have, this is the same thing. You can take these with you everywhere. You can be thinking about them all the time.
Yep.
And the other thing that's interesting is it doesn't take long.
No. You can learn these. Here's the thing. On this side of the equation, metacognition, you could learn these 6 things in 6 minutes.
True.
Well, I mean, we've actually researched it. You can become aware and utilize these 6 things in 6 minutes. But there's a catch. it won't last very long.
Right.
Because you'll go back to your default.
Yeah.
So you have to practice.
This episode is brought to you by STSI, the Systems Thinking Standards Institute.
Yes, super excited to work with STSI, raising the standard for 8 billion systems thinkers, science-based standards, training, the professional systems thinking credential, accreditation for organizations, the systems thinking or thinker toolkit. And so I really encourage folks to go to stsi.pro, take the trainings, get the credentials, get your organization accredited, get the toolkit.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Help us get to 8 billion.
And it's a 501c3 nonprofit.
Don't forget that.
It's a great partner. And the practice is what takes some time. But again, not a lot of time. Like we see remarkable transformations in weeks with people on training camp.
Yes.
We see in 2 weeks, people are completely, they say to us, oh my God, my whole brain is completely changed in 2 weeks. So it's you can learn it in 6 minutes and practice it in a few weeks, and then you keep getting better at it and better at it and better at it. And it's actually really transformative process.
Yeah, and I think we should take that one step further, which is my brain's changed. And then the next sentence is, I'm doing so much better at work with my boss who's driving me crazy, or my wife is finally listening.
Or my husband.
My wife or husband is finally listening to me.
Yeah.
Or, I'm seeing all of these things completely differently, and it's changed
the way I interact with my children, or the way, all these important parts of people's lives. Yeah.
For sure.
That's the key. And I guess it started with why did we change our vision a little bit in the last few years? Well, it's because in the beginning, we didn't have all the components needed to have a standard.
Right.
Because we're scientists and we wanted to understand this thing called systems thinking. Yes. And it's not, it took a while to really figure out, what is this thing? How would we go about measuring it if we could? How would we validate those measures, which takes a long time?
Yes.
How would we know how to explain it to people so that they can become aware of it? And like we said, even when we explained it to people, we thought we were done. We thought, okay, we just have to do this.
Yeah.
And then, as science can do to you, it said, no, because you can do this and you can see remarkable effects, but they go away, right? And I think it's really important. There's one last thing that I would say about this.
Yep.
I'm going to erase this to make room. I think it's really important that, there's no magic bullets in the world. You don't get, this is kind of physics thinking or the first principles thinking. You don't get anything for free. You don't get anything without work, effort, whatever. So Kahneman talks about system 1 thinking, and he also talks about system 2 thinking.
Yep.
So let's think about the positives and the negatives, or the pros and the cons, or the benefits and the trade-offs, right? Well, system 1 thinking is fast, and it's intuitive, meaning you don't even have to try to do it.
It's autonomic.
This is your default.
Yeah.
This is your default.
That's like when you can drive to work without thinking about it.
Yeah. So it's fast and it's your default. So you have to do nothing in order to do system 1 thinking.
Yeah.
It's the thing you're going to be doing left to your own devices. Okay, well, there's always going to be trade-offs. So the trade-off for fast and default, no effort. So default is like no effort.
Yeah.
The negative is it's wrong a lot.
Which is not a small negative.
Which is a huge negative.
Right.
Okay? Okay, system 2 thinking. Well, system 2 thinking is right much more often. So that's a plus. And you say to yourself, well, that's great. What's the negative? Well, the downside is it's slow.
Right.
Right? And it's not your default. So it's going to take effort. Yeah? Some effort. And mainly, the main effort that it's going to take is the first part, metacognition.
Yes.
Awareness.
Awareness, yeah.
Right? Okay, well now, boy, what do? I can either be fast and wrong, or I can be right and slow.
Not great choice.
But I live in a society, I live in a time, I live in a world professionally, and personally, where what I need is to be right as much as possible, meaning get things right, and it needs to happen fast. Well, that's what I need. Well, doesn't look like I have any options there, right? Because I can either be fast and wrong or right and slow.
Yeah, so we need another option.
Okay, well, here's where, now it's going to sound like snake oil. If there's some other option, right, that's the best of both worlds. Well, what's the positive of System 3 thinking, which is systems thinking, DSRP thinking? Yeah. Well, the positive, it's right.
Yep.
And it's fast.
Yep.
And you go, come on. That sounds shady.
Yeah.
It's shady, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like snake oil.
Yeah.
But there's always, always, always going to be a cost.
Yes.
And the cost is effort. The cost is practice.
Yes.
The cost is you got a repetition, right?
Yeah.
That's the cost. That's a huge cost. It's a cost, but you get to be right and fast.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's a cost, and it is in the short run.
Yeah.
But ask yourself, if you don't do that, you're still going to be paying a cost either way.
Oh, no, there's huge costs.
Without good results.
Yeah, these are huge costs up here. These are huger costs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what this tells us is that if you're willing to effort, practice, repetition, and not for very long, you can see great gains in a short period of time. You can get to right and fast. Now, who understands this? In all the people we work with
Special Forces.
DOD, we work with Special Forces, we work with Olympic athletes, we work with professional athletes, we work with not professional athletes, we work with teachers, we work with business executives, you name it. We work with kindergartners, we work with 8th graders, we work with every kind of person you could possibly, therapists, blah, 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 right?
Yes.
Who gets this right away?
The athletes.
Yeah, the athletes get it.
The Special Forces, they do a lot of that.
Special Forces get it.
Yeah.
They get it because that's part of their life.
Yeah.
They get it. They understand, Special Forces in particular.
Yeah, it's their life.
It's their life. Their life is, first of all, we have to get things right and we have to do it fast. So they understand that like nobody's business.
Right.
And then they also understand, well, in order to get that, you're not going to get it without
Meaning the
effort
connection
and
between
practice.
this and that is very easy for them.
It's easy for them because it's
sort
their
of part
whole
of their
life. It's
Yeah.
part of their life.
Yeah.
But for a lot of folks, this is kind of like not entirely like front and center.
Right.
And so this is kind of new for them, that you could practice getting better at mental fitness.
Yeah.
And we know exactly how to practice. We know exactly how to measure it. We know exactly what to practice. And again, what you practice is skill-based, not concept or theoretical, whatever, right? So there are skills that you can practice, and if you put in the repetition, you will get the results. And the results are huge.
Yeah.
And like you said, the cost up here is, slow or wrong.
Yeah.
Like those are huge costs.
Yeah, and one of the things, I don't remember who said it to us, there's sort of short-term pain for long-term gain, right? So like you invest it here and it lasts the lifetime.
A lifetime, yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, and when you actually get into it, what you realize is this is incredibly enjoyable. The effort that you put in, the practice is incredibly, we hear this every day on training camp.
Yes.
This is so much fun. This is so mind-altering, mind-bending, mind-changing. I'm having so much success in all these different realms. Well, that's what people are hearing. That's what people are
I think for that
experiencing, rather.
They're gaining insights day to day to day to day, and they're having epiphanies.
Yeah.
Along the way of, I've been thinking about this wrong. I can see this differently. I can use this tool here, and then I have a different result, and all of that kind of stuff. So
we got to get 8 billion people.
Yes.
Above the standard. And again, what we is all of us. We all have to do it.
What's the other option?
I wish I could say it better. It really bugs me that I can't say it better. But like in a complex system, the place where the system happens is in the agents.
Yes.
And all the agents in there and the way they interact. Mm-hmm. And so, like, all these big things that we want to change about society, if we keep focusing on those big things, we're going to miss the boat.
Yeah.
The big things are emergent properties of how individuals behave.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way I like to think about it, which to me is very motivating, is as an agent in this system, I have agency to change the system.
Yes.
And the way I have agency, I exercise that agency, is to do the effort, do the practice, change the way I see things, see the systems for what they are,
Totally.
love reality, all of the stuff that we talk about. And then I, as one person, I mean, there was a book called The Power of One, right? So there's this, as one person, I have an impact, and the collective dynamics between a bunch of people who feel that way and know they have that impact, that changes stuff.
And the reason this is so true, that is so spot on, like, and the reason systems thinking is so critical is because we need to do that in so many different systems all at once, right? If you take, for example, our quote-unquote healthcare system, which is a strange oxymoron.
There's not a lot of care.
Yeah, there's like no health and no care.
You should say big pharma, medical.
I mean, they're literally creating the disease and then giving us the cure. And the cure is like kind of like they're charging us for the disease and they're charging us for the cure. That's what the system is. The system is we die early and we pay for it.
Yes.
On both sides. We pay for it with the sugar and everything else and the chemicals, and we pay for it. You know, so that's just one system.
Yeah.
That's just one system that if we don't get systemic about, if we don't understand it. Now, how would you change that system? Well, everybody has to start with basic, like the 12 gets that we talked about in another episode. Your own habits of not buying into the disease of sugar and all these other things, and taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you won't be paying on the front end, you won't be paying on the back end, you'll benefit greatly. But if everybody doesn't start doing that, that system will never change because it'll always be immensely profitable.
Yes, and nobody has any incentive to change it.
And nobody's going to change that system if it's immensely profitable. How will they change it? If it's immensely profitable to be healthy.
Yes.
If it's immensely profitable to be healthy, which, by the way, it could be.
And that's possible.
It's so possible.
Very possible.
It's so possible. Like all those companies could put their effort into all the things that healthy people are interested in. Well, if people were healthy and they were interested in them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that change, which is, again, just one system, there's hundreds of these systems, at least dozens of really important ones. That change isn't going to happen without each person thinking systemically.
Right.
Because they're not going to see it. They're not going to see that they're getting you on the front end, they're getting you sick, and they're charging you to get you sick. And then they're getting you on the back end by charging you to get cured.
To get well.
Which really isn't about getting well.
Well, it's just dependent on medications.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's honestly insane. Mm-hmm. But again, you're not going to see that if you don't think systemically.
Right.
So systems thinking is at the base of not just that problem,
but of them.
All these other problems.
Mm-hmm. Which is why, if we did actually get 8 billion systems thinkers above that standard, everything would be different. Yeah,
we're shooting for Mars, right? We're shooting for
there we are.
Saturn. 8 billion's a lot, but even if we got the moon, it would be, you don't have to change 100% of the system to change the system.
Right.
Right. So our vision is 8 billion, but boy, even if you got 30, 40, 50%,
that would change it all.
It would change all of it. It would change the whole system.
Which is why we're going to keep working on it.
Keep working hard, and we need your help. I mean, seriously, we need all of your help. Please share with your friends. Share the podcast, share the training camp, get on Spotify and Apple, and it really helps us if you put a review or star on Spotify and Apple and any of the YouTube and all that stuff. Yeah. Get involved in any way that you can because it's I think it's the crux of all of it.
It is, and I think actually what's interesting to me is, we're saying, we need your help. But really what that means is you need to claim your agency
That's
yourself,
a good point too. Yeah,
in
like
this
just
system,
for yourself.
to change your outcomes.
Change you.
Right?
Yeah.
And if everybody
100%.
does that, then the collective will change.
Good point.
So
that's a great point.
It's helping yourself, which helps us get to our vision.
Totally.
But,
Be one.
Yeah.
The power of one.
The power of one.
In that 8 billion. And
an agent.
I think we can change the world for the better for everybody.
Absolutely.
I think we
the collective we
can definitely
100%
change the world for the better for everybody, and system
100%.
signals the path. I think we did it.
I think we did.
All right, that's a wrap.